What's going on, everybody? Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you stopping by, spending a few minutes of your time here with me tonight. I'm usually on Reddit, and I am lurking in a lot of spiritual subreddits, that revolve around the idea of spirituality, spiritual awakening, um, even some more magical type of subreddits because I'm branched out. What I'm saying is I'm branched out through the entire realm of spirituality on Reddit, and I just keep my ears to the ground or whatever. I like to keep up with the times, see what people are saying and talking about, and for the most part, you get sort of like the same old things over and over and over again in all of these various subreddits. Nothing really out of the ordinary, and sometimes every now and then there will be somebody who is in obvious need of help, like someone who is suffering with some sort of delusional sort of psychosis moment, and they're in need of assistance or something like this, right? And these are normally, they usually say a lot of the same, will have the same things, okay? And then every now and then there will be someone who is like, don't try to talk me out of it, but this Friday, I'm going to kill myself. I've decided to kill myself, or something like this, right? And sometimes there are people that are like, I don't really want to kill myself, but I've sort of lost interest in living. Okay. And people that are feeling very disconnected with their family and their friends, the world, with life in general, very disconnected. What's the point? What's the purpose? This sort of thing. And to me, I feel like spirituality isn't for everyone all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Like, maybe there are certain times in a person's life where spirituality should not be the main focus or the main priority. You understand what I'm saying? So I remember watching this video one time. Jordan Peterson was saying something that made actual sense to me. He was saying that, for example, if your life is going pretty well and you're still depressed, even though most of your life is in order, right? And you still feel depressed, maybe antidepressants could help you. If you go see a doctor, talk to a doctor, get prescribed by a professional antidepressants, those might help even you out or something like this. But if you're living a very chaotic life, if you are just living in a shitty situation, those same antidepressants may not lift you out of your depression because you simply live in a shitty situation, right? And so no medication is going to help you out. You need actual physical help, like getting out of your situation or something like this. So I feel like it's the same thing with spirituality. A lot of people treat spirituality like a cure-all, like you come to become spiritual to solve all of your problems. And unfortunately, this isn't how it works. It's been sort of like said that being able to like indulge yourself in matters of spiritual importance and intellectual things, that this is a privilege, right? You can't really spend time thinking about these out of the box ideas unless all of your other earthly needs are taken care of, right? If all of your human necessities, the bare necessities, are taken care of. So if you have food, water, shelter, your bills have to be paid. But you see what I'm saying? Normal people, we don't have this opportunity. We have to work. We have to worry about paying bills and raising the kids and so on and so forth, right? So we don't have time to indulge in our minds or in our spirituality, sort of thing like this. And that's just because there's no time to do that. There are certain things that take priority over that, right? So this is sort of how it came to me, how I learned about this. Okay, so I play a video game called Overwatch, and Overwatch is a multiplayer, like first person shooter. You play in teams of six, so it's six versus six. And when I first started playing, I had dreams of being like an amazing player, like best in the world in this game, right? To be a professional player. But if I didn't, I would settle for being like a professional streamer, streaming at a very high level of the game or something like this, right? And I made this very beginner mistake of thinking that the most important thing, basically the only thing that I needed to worry about to achieve this goal, was to work on my aim. I needed to aim. If I could have like the best aim, that would make me the best player, basically, is how it translated in my head. So when I would play the game, I spent all of my time like in game focusing on all of my shots, worrying about my stats, right? And in between games, I would go into like aim trainers, and I even downloaded like, extra thing to help me practice on my aim. And I didn't get any better at the game. And I watched this one video by a professional player when I was, pursuing like, I was looking for advice or whatever, how to get good at this game. I found this pro player. His name was like IDDQD, right? And he has some of the best aim in the world at this game, right? And he plays the game at a very high level. He's professional and he's a professional streamer. So, this is someone who knows what they're talking about. And what they said, how they broke it down, right? And now in my mind, spirituality is aim. This is your aim, okay? So what this guy said about how to get good at the game was that there was so much you need to learn before you even worry about your aim, okay? First, you need to, like any game, when you get a new game, you need to learn the controls. You need to master just where your fingers go on your keyboard and what keys do what. Or if you're playing on a controller, you need to know how to move around that controller. You can't spend all of your time looking at the keyboard, looking at the controller. Or if you were playing piano or guitar, you wouldn't want to spend all of your time looking at the instrument to make sure you're pushing the right keys, or pressing the right strings, because you need to be reading the music or you need to be looking at the screen, right? So you need to commit all of this to memory, right? And you also need to understand the different classes of heroes in the game. So there are tanks, there are damage dealing characters, and there are support characters. You need to understand what their roles are. Each character has specific abilities, so you need to choose one or two characters from each class that you would like to get better at or that you enjoy playing, and you need to learn everything about them, all of their stats from a technical standpoint. You need to commit all of this to memory, right? And then you need to understand your weaknesses and your strengths when you are versing another character. So you need to learn what characters counter your character and what characters you counter, right? So you can better understand what fights you should take or what fights you should run from when you're in a game, right? And then you need to understand the maps. You need to work on your map awareness. You need to know where every little bit of the map is, where all of the health packs are, where are the spots where you can fall off the map, you know what I mean, or where you can get environmental kills. You need to know all of this stuff, and you need to commit it to memory. You need to know it like the back of your hand, so you don't have to look around to make sure that you're stepping on the health pack. You need to make sure that you know exactly where it is and your map awareness is there, right? You have some game sense. Then you need to work on positioning, the correct positioning. You see what I'm saying? There is so much. And then after you get all of that down, after you master all of this fundamental technical and mechanical information of the game, then you can start practicing on your aim, because you've mastered everything else. And the aim is that last thing. You'll use that to hone in, right? And that's like the icing on the cake, or the cherry on top. You see what I'm saying? And so your aim, that's like spirituality. It may be the case that there are just a lot of things out of order in your life, right? You're not positioning right. And you can see like a lot of people try to use spirituality like a cheat. Um, like in Overwatch or a lot of other online shooters, you have hackers, people who build or pay money for this extra program that basically allows them to automatically lock on to people's heads in the game, right? They don't even have to try to aim. All they have to do is click and it shoots people in the head. And a lot of the times you can tell a person is hacking not only because they're hitting all of these headshots, not missing a single shot, but they're also having like positioning problems. They have bad game sense, so they'll just stand out in the middle of a field and try to take on the whole enemy team because they have this aimbot. They think it makes them invincible. They think that the only thing that matters is having great aim. So if they use this aimbot, this hacking technology, they will have the best aim, therefore be the best player. And unfortunately, it doesn't work out like that. Your aim doesn't make you great at the game. That's just sort of the icing on top. And if you distract yourself with your aim or with spirituality, you may miss all of this stuff and even hurt yourself. You may even go down in rank rather than climb the rank because you're just missing all of this other stuff. You know what I mean? Anyway, until next time, I hope you continue to free your mind.